David Seelbeck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. So you are notified when new videos drop. So this is what's it? Video number 9. It's on the thumbnail. I really should just look. Video number 9 of a 48 video series, maybe 49. I might do an extra one like a summation. The 48 Ways to Wisdom. Now we're in a period of time in the Jewish calendar called the Omer, which is 49 days long. It's 7 weeks, so 7 times 7. 49 days long, and it's a time of a great opportunity for personal growth. So there's lots of different things that different people do during this time. One that I do, I haven't done this for a few years actually. I go over this thing called the 48 Ways to Wisdom. Now this is it's a section of something called the Mishnah. I just remember all the time. Section of something called the Mishnah, which is a codification of Jewish law from about 2,000 years ago, in a tractate called Pirkei Avot, Ethics of Our Fathers, where basically the rabbis just got to write down their top time best things they could tell you, throughout time. And this is one of those. It's called the 48 Ways to Wisdom, 48 different ways of acquiring greatness. And I think they're pretty universal. You don't really need any, to believe anything or look at life from one particular point of view. So, I thought that I would share this with you guys, and also teaching over helps it gets to remind you what it is, get you know. So it's good stuff. So we're on way number 9. Go check out the other ways if you haven't seen them. If you like this, go check them out. But before we get into it, can you hit the like button? That'll be great. Can you hit the share button? That's even better. Can you hit the subscribe button? That's fantastic, double dozy. And don't forget the comment. Comment is great. The algorithm loves comments, and the algorithm is a bit mad at me. It demonetized my channel. I say a bit, Bible thumpy religious stuff every now and again, Mainly I'm talking about Doctor Who and Star Trek and geeky stuff, but, so they didn't like that. So they demonetized my channel. So like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are good. If you want to be super, super nice, go check out my Indiegogo. The link is in the video notes. These are two graphic novels, 2 comic books. One I wrote and drew, and the other one I wrote. They're freaking awesome. They're absolutely fantastic. This campaign is ending in 9 days. 9 days. Why is it ending in 9 days? Well, firstly, it's going to be the holy day of Yom Kippur, the Jewish Independence, the Israeli Independence Day, not Jewish. Kind of similar. Independence Day, and secondly, I have another campaign that I want to get started. So I want to fulfill this. I want to ship this out to the backers and wrap this up. So go check it out. This way. Go check it out. And if something that appeals to you, fantabby, double dozy. So let's look at today's way to wisdom. Total concentration. So in the Mishnah they call this one with purity, tahara, with purity. So the purity I mean is purity of thought, purity of vision, purity of thought, and that's something that we all know. We all know intrinsically is very, very, very helpful. It's something that we that a lot of us don't really have that often. So, the way to get purity of vision, the way to concentrate, the way to really get pure total concentration is the way you get to anything, which is practice. You practice it in small ways, and before you start doing something, this is a general idea in Judaism. You make a declaration that you're doing it so you can focus your mind to it. We have there's a Jewish holiday called Sukkot where it's weird. If you want to see Jews being weird, go to a synagogue during the holiday of Sukkot. It's in it's in the autumn time. But part of that thing is you take a palm frond, a big palm frond. It's got to be very, very straight, and a couple of twigs of leaves and a lemon-like fruit called etrog. I think they're called citron in England. Anyway, but it represents like a complete unity, a complete unification of the world. That's basically the symbolism behind it. But before you do it, you make a declaration, because it's an idea to say it out. If you say out your declaration before you make it, it helps focus your mind. So try doing that. If you're going to do something, just stop for 2-3 minutes. Oh, no, not even that. For 20-30 seconds and think about what you're going to do. Now, I pray 3 times a day. Again, that's part of Jewish, ritual. But and it's very, very easy to just say the words, because you say them 3 times a day. Like these prayers, you just say them 3 times a day, and so it's easy to run through them and not concentrate them and not think what you're doing. So this is like where I really built up the skill, of being able to focus, being able to concentrate, because like you stop before. I mean, I went to like. I wrote a book actually. I went into detail about all each of the different blessings within this formalized prayer. And before I say that there's actually 19 of them. There's 19 of them in the central thing. But before I say each one, I stop for a second. I think what I'm doing, right? I think what the prayer is that I'm saying and the words I'm going to say, and that focuses it, and it really is incredibly helpful. So whatever you're doing, whatever you want to have focus on it, just stop 10 seconds, 5 seconds even is an incredible focusing tool. And the more you do it, the more naturally focused you are. So the second part of this, and it's really kind of incredible in Jewish philosophy, in Jewish law, there is an idea. There are you can have 70 different streams of thought going at any one time. I don't think I managed that. I don't think. I can get 10, 15 going. I get 70. That takes that takes smarter people than me. Smarter people than people sitting in the basement screaming about Doctor Who and Star Trek. But it does actually work. So how does that? How are you able to achieve that? So the example they give over here is one that I can't relate to because it's about driving and I don't know how to drive. But when you learn how to drive, there are a lot of things you have to learn how to do simultaneously, and eventually over time they become ingrained into you. So that's basically it. Driving is doing a bunch of things and focusing on a bunch of things without realizing you're doing it because you just do it very often. But it is possible to have several different things flying around your head at any one time. Like I always I'm a Bible thumping religious guy. So my basic thought process about anything is, what do I think God wants me to do? Right? What do I think God wants me to do? And again, look, I'm a religious guy, so just the way I do this. And oftentimes, I do things which are a bit weird because of that. But I try to be reasonably pure about that. So this is way number 9. Total concentration, tahara, purity in thought. It's a muscle you got to work. You got to work to be able to do it. But it's a muscle that's really worth working, and it's very obvious. It's a very obvious thing that if you can focus better, if you can filter out things, anything else, focus on things you're doing, you work faster, you work better, you work smarter. It makes it makes me crazy that my kids, whenever they do anything, like each week we prepare for Sabbath, right? And there's quite a lot of work goes in. There's festive meals. This is every freaking week. But my wife makes a certain type of bread called challah every week. So a lot of times my daughter does it instead of my wife. And until my wife saw what she was doing and she's seen it. No, I'm doing it because she'll have her phone on and be watching something, be watching like 30 Rock or whatever, whatever's on Netflix, like Friends or something. As she's doing it, they have to do like lots of things simultaneously because I think that just provides you not having focus on anything. So you might just say, but wait a minute. So you just said you can think about 70 things at once. Yeah. Before, to be able to do that, you've got to be able to think about one thing at once. One thing at a time. Why do you think about one thing, then try and think about 2 things, then 3 things? But have to be able to do one thing at a time. Like the way to play jazz, the way anybody is able to play jazz is by really understanding the song on a very intimate, deep level, and then you can improvise, and then you can bring your individuality into it. But first you've got to be able to focus on one thing. So the bullet points they give us over here: interrupt daydreaming process. Yes, if you find yourself daydreaming, don't have to do this university. Try and do an hour a day. Say, I'm not going to daydream. And if you find yourself which you will do, right? If you find yourself daydreaming, just say no, stop. And it's like, again, you it's just practice. It's all really just practice. Apply yourself to a task with single-minded dedication. Again, you know what it's like to be absorbed in something. You've been absorbed in a movie, you've been absorbed in a book, you've been absorbed in a task, right? And we all know what it's like. Try and get to there. Incorporate what you studied into your behavior. Well, that's kind of well, I know. Why would you study it if you wouldn't incorporate it into your behavior? Contemplate one idea at a time and clarify it to the fullest extent. Now, yeah. So here, this is a really useful tool. Write out your ideas. Write out your ideas and write out all the details of the ideas, all the tributaries, all the parts to it. It takes up a lot, right? But that's the way. That's the way you get complete clarity upon your ideas, upon your thought process. Let me see whether link your emotions to your goal. I have no idea how that connects. Success depends largely on intensity of ambition. So that's 100% true. You know, the most athletes are roughly the same. You know, have the same level of agility and personal fitness. It's all about their focus. Everything is always about their focus, and their focus comes from their desire, their ambition. Right? That's a really big one. Block out insanity. Well, that's pretty hard in 2021. I would say just kind of like try and develop Stockholm syndrome with it. That's probably your best way. Mean what you say and say what you mean. Yeah, but that means thinking things through and thinking out what it is you want to say and what it is you mean, right? And once you do it, you've done it forever. You know, it's always good to go back and revisit. But again, Don't think that you know anything. You know, this is a really good thing in having clarity of vision. Don't think that you don't take anything for granted. Like, ask yourself simple things like, what are people? You know, things you think you know the answer to. What is happiness? What, you know, things like that, and things you think you know the answer to, and that's how you get clarity of vision, by like not taking your premises for granted. A lot of time, your premises will remain completely solid, but not taking them for granted. So there you go. Way number 9, total concentration, Vertahara, a purity of thought. My blessing to you is that you are able to achieve it in some way or another, because it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have. My name's Seal Beck, and you Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.
Yeah!